Inside of thought, there's just like an assumption that the question arising right now, or the confusion arising right now, or the doubt arising right now, or the interpretation arising right now, that this is what is needed in order to fulfill something. Thought is always like aimed at something. It's always trying to get somewhere. It's always trying to achieve something. It's always trying to become something. So inside of thought, there is this self-imposed inherent lack, void, that it is trying to fulfill through some sort of concept. And there is this impression, this unknowing, unconscious impression inside of thinking that by pursuing this confusion, I'm getting somewhere. By pursuing this conceptual doubt, I am achieving something. By interpreting, I am getting fulfilled. But we've all seen, no matter how much we engage in thoughts, we don't find that fulfillment, especially the fulfillment we seek through spiritual practice, right? Understanding, wisdom, clarity, peace, whatever you want to call it. We see that no amount of thinking helps us in that pursuit. No amount of thinking brings that fulfillment. So when we sit silently in this way, one thing we have to start to notice is that there is this impression inside of thinking that, thinking is the way. But we have to start seeing that as a mind-made illusion, which it is. It is simply another notion which first projects that there's something missing, and then inherent in that idea is also something that will be rewarded, something that there is to come. Inside of thought is the entire journey. Inside of thought is time. Inside of thought, there's a promise for some fulfillment in time. But whatever fulfillment lies in time, it is not real. So we find wisdom, clarity, peace, fulfillment, not by remaining in this mind-made structure of journeying in time and lack and fulfillment, but rather by seeing this entire structure as it is, noticing it as it is, and just letting go, ceasing to be interested. We didn't even know that we had that capacity until now, because we thought that all there is that structure of time and story and journey and future. But that is the great blessing that this teaching bestows upon us. So understand that the very things you feel like you will achieve and receive and attain through pursuing ideas about your life, ideas about yourself, ideas about spirituality, expectations, even resistance is actually aimed at getting some fulfillment. We feel that something unpleasant has come and it must be resisted so that I can get away from it or get it out of here so that I can finally be fulfilled. We have to start to see that this first, the silliness of these notions, and then just the willingness to no longer buy into them. We find what we seek not by pursuing these notions, but rather by dissolving interest in them, letting go of them. Today, I also want to share another invitation with you. Right now, you're sitting here and you are aware of experience. Feel that for a moment. There's awareness of experience right now. You are perceiving all sorts of things: sounds, sights, perhaps smells and tastes, feelings, sensations, thoughts. Today, I invite you, as we sit here and practice this for a few moments, that you observe all of these things without the notion of me or mine. Rather than my hearing, just observe the sound of my voice and all other sounds as they are. Rather than me, the one that is hearing, just allow the hearing to be as it is. See it as just hearing. Even the sensations of the body, rather than seeing them as my sensations or me, just have no need for that notion of me and mine, my body. Just observe the sensations that are present without attaching yourself to them, without ownership, without possession. Even the voice that is arising in the form of thoughts, saying things, even that can be observed without me or mine. Rather than my thoughts, my voice, it can simply be seen as thoughts without even the word thoughts. Just see them as they are. Just be the witness of what is without any idea or concept of me or mine. You see, when you observe things in this way, notice how, like, the whole me and mine is just an idea that is constantly being repeated. It is a idea, it's a thought made idea. When you just see things as they are, in the absence of thought, there is no ownership, there is no identification. Mhm. And you could even take it a step subtler, even the observing of things as they are, even that, you don't have to label as me or mine. The moment you bring the idea me or mine into it, once again, we begin to operate as a person from the idea of being me, Sunny, observing. But in just observing, there's no notion of Sunny or any notion of mine. This can be a little subtle to practice at first, but as you get the hang of it, it becomes quite simple. And in the meantime, as it is sort of sticky and difficult, and thoughts say, I don't really get this, or I'm having too many thoughts and this and that, even those thoughts can be seen without any sense of me or mine. And in fact, in those moments, I encourage you to acknowledge how it is those very thoughts creating an idea of me and mine. It is those thoughts creating an image of who you are with your face and your name and your story. And that you are not that idea. On behalf of whom is the mind speaking? Right? It's on behalf of the idea of ourselves that is already painted by the mind. Thoughts paint an image of who you are, and they talk as that image. Thoughts paint an idea of who you are and relate to other things from that image. They talk as that image. When you like something or don't like something, it is on behalf of that image, of that mind created image. When you want something or don't want something, it is on behalf of that mind made image. When you either cling or resist to something, it is on behalf of that mind made image. When something is perceived as a problem, it is on behalf of that image, which is threatened. In awareness, there's no image, there's no idea. That is the power of silence. It helps you slip out of this identification with that image that is mind made, on behalf of which we are suffering. That image has to become more like a costume that you wear rather than what you take yourself to be. Because when we take ourselves to be that image, we live life from that identity and we relate with all things from that identity. That is the source of all selfishness, arrogance, pride, and all other types of suffering, anger, fear, judgment, all things. But when we start to wake up to that which is prior to the image, when we start to wake up to my being, my true being, unassociated with thought made ideas, then you can still take on this limitation, but more as a mask or a costume. Where, of course, inside of experience, we relate as a human with other humans and things, but you are awake to a much deeper understanding of what you are. And the sting of personal preferences and resistances, desires and fears starts to melt away because there is no self-identification with the image on behalf of whom those things are so important. When they are taken to be me and mine, this teaching itself is so threatening to even hear. That is why doubts and fears and resistances and worries and desires and preferences feel so important. It's because there is a investment of self in them. We feel, due to our lack of investigation, that that is what I am and that it is mine. Once you start questioning, for whom is this important? You start seeing that it is only important for that mind-made image that I believe myself to be, not for myself. And by seeing that, we start to awaken to what I am in truth prior to the mind-made image. That is the real meaning of surrender and devotion. It is not the person that surrenders something in order to spiritually advance. It is this very personal image that we have to surrender and see as not what I am, because it is the root of all trouble. So try your best to employ this advice in your practice, especially your sit down practice, where when you are observing, when you are disengaging from the mind, let go of the whole concept of me and mine. You'll see how much easier it becomes when it's no longer my emotion, my sensation, my thought, my idea, my preference, my concern, my doubt. Because when it's not me or mine, you don't really care so much. But when it's me and mine, there's so much interest and attachment. You see, I can only be attached as a someone. As long as that image is there that I have of myself, from there I can have attachment with other things. But awareness has no attachments because there's no focal point from where I see. Awareness has no focal point. Like there's no place in time or space from where you are operating. In just being aware, all that structure dissolves. So employ that in your practice to the best of your ability if this resonates. And then whenever you are going through your experience and you start to struggle and suffer and things are problems for you and you are having these doubts and concerns and fears, try to take a moment and investigate that. For whom is this a problem? For whom is this an issue? For whom is this doubt important? And try to see that at the heart of that importance is the image that you're operating from. And that when you let go of that image, the whole notion of me, then all that remains is just awareness of what is. And you'll start to see that this is the deepest solution to all your problems, personal and spiritual, in ways that the mind cannot comprehend. So don't wait for it to comprehend before you employ this advice, because then it can never happen. I hope that today's video helped you greatly. One of the best practices to implement the advice offered in this video, which is to become empty of me and mine, is self-inquiry meditation. Right now, I'm actually giving away a free guide. It's a PDF format document which walks you through how to practice this self-inquiry meditation step by step. I'll leave the link down in the description box below and the first comment of this video. Just click that link and access that guide for free. Again, practice, practice, practice. Do not wait. Simply practice. If you do need help with practice and you find yourself stuck, learn more about my School of Awakening program, in which you can get my personal help. That is a very structured meditation and self-inquiry program that really walks you through this entire teaching and helps you dissolve mind identification and become free from suffering your experience. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if it brought you value, and subscribe to this channel if you're new here and want more videos like this. So that's all for today from me. Thank you again. I'll see you next time.